The novel 15 Dogs, written by Andre Alexis, follows a group of canines who have been given human intelligence on their journey to find fulfillment, happiness, and their place in the world. The story is set into motion when the Olympian gods Apollo and Hermes, who are out in the mortal world having drinks at a Toronto bar, are debating on whether or not consciousness is the key to finding true happiness. They both have differing viewpoints on the matter. Hermes, for his part, believes that giving intelligence to animals will make them happier, and Apollo believes the opposite. Apollo then wagers a year's servitude that any animal Hermes chooses to grant intelligence will lead an unhappy existence and die unhappy, and Hermes accepts, saying that this will not be the case. He also says that if even one dog is happy at the end of his or her life, Hermes wins the bet. They then make the decision to grant the 15 dogs at a nearby vet clinic human intelligence. These dogs, who had previously been following their unconscious desires without any real intelligence, suddenly wake up with a sense that they had changed. Upon coming to the realization that they are now a different existence from the rest of their species, the dogs are beset with confusion and doubt regarding whether they should live as traditional dogs or adapt to a new way of life using their newfound intelligence. 3 of the dogs decide to stay behind at the vet clinic and die unhappy, and the other 13 leave. After settling into a new home at the park, the remaining 13 dogs start furthering their intelligence and developing their language. The 4 main dogs, or main characters in the story, Prince, Benji, Majnun, and Atticus, all have different viewpoints. Atticus finds self-consciousness intolerable because it causes him to question the brutality of his instincts. Majnun longs for the past, but he also believes that the dogs must learn to accept their newfound intelligence. Benji accepts their intelligence as an opportunity to improve his situation. The only dog who is truly happy with their intelligence is Prince, who delights in his new skills and loves poetry. After a while, Atticus decides that the dogs must return to their previous traditional ways and make a plan to kill anyone who does not agree. Prince escapes and Majnun also survives with serious injuries. Benji decides to lay low in the pack to avoid being killed. The dogs who were killed in this coup died with fear in their hearts, leaving the wager unresolved. The dogs then go their separate ways. The book now follows their individual journeys in finding happiness. Majnun is taken in by a human named Neera and forms a loving relationship with her. After Neera dies in an accident, Majnun only longs to see her and is granted death by Hermes. His death was not a happy one, as he died with regret in his heart, so the wager still remains unresolved. Atticus, a dog who experiences self-consciousness as a painful inner turmoil between violence and empathy. Atticus, who stays with the pack, eventually realizes that his murdering of the dogs was not a rightful thing to do and it tainted his leadership. Seeking guidance, he begins praying to an ideal dog that he created in his mind, and leaves food offerings for him. Zeus hears his prayers, and after Benji poisons him with the others, Zeus grants his last wish, that the pack's murderer, who was Benji, be punished. He dies unhappy and in pain, leaving the bet again unresolved. Benji, who runs away from the pack after poisoning and killing the rest of the dogs, including Atticus, eventually finds a home with 2 humans. His relationship, however, differs from that of Majnun's relationship, and it is a relationship of dominance and not respect or love. This causes a misunderstanding which leaves Benji abandoned in a home without food. Starving, he eats poisonous chemicals and dies a painful and unhappy death, leaving the wager unresolved. This also fulfills the final wish of Atticus. Prince, after being driven out of the pack, is alone for a very long time. However, this does not cause him to be unhappy. He stays joyful, and he finds happiness through creating poetry. Concerned that he will lose the bet, Apollo robs Prince of his sight, but Prince returns to a kind family who takes care of him. Hoping to save his poetry from dying with him, Prince begins reciting it to the woman of the house, until Apollo robs him of his hearing. In his dying moments, Prince reflects on the gift given him, and realizes that it can be given to another. As he dies, Prince feels happy, and Hermes wins the bet. Hermes then grants Prince a final gift, in which he feels and receives love from his previous human who took care of him when he was a normal dog. This book portrays the theme of love and plays flawlessly and gives a great understanding of what it means to be human. Reading it will be something that no one will regret, and I greatly recommend it for anyone.